see it? Did you see my fret hand change here of how I went about the chord change from A minor to F? That's what we're talking about today. In more generality, how to make a good chord change if you're having a challenge. Chris here. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. And I had a student a week or so ago that I thought this problem might be a problem that other students have, and actually lots of my students have come across this at one time or another. This is just something that it happens to everybody. Every guitarist has a challenge with a chord transition at a time or one time or another. And if you're a beginner guitarist, this information that we'll talk about today is super important. I'm going to give you a couple exercises to look at the end of this video, but we're going to talk about a very specific chord change right now. An A minor chord to an F, but no bar chord, okay? So an A minor chord is just these two fingers and middle two fingers on the 4th and 3rd string, 2nd fret, your pointer finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret. It's a 5-string chord. You play from the 5th string. The F chord that we're going to do for this purpose is 1st finger on the 6th string, 1st fret. These two fingers, your little two fingers on the 3rd fret of the 5th and 4th string, and your 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. We're leaving the high 2 strings open. So that's all we're really going to talk about right now is this specific chord change, because once you learn this, you will learn how to do any challenging chord change in the future. Okay, so with this particular context of what I played, I was playing these notes on the A minor. It doesn't really matter what I'm doing there, but the first note that I did on the F chord was that 6th string, 1st fret. So, the biggest thing for you to recognize is that all of us, every single guitarist, when we're making a specific chord, we have what I call a bias. Your fret hand will want to create that chord based off of one finger, and it's frequently the pointer finger, number 1. However, in other chords, it could be, I need to get my pinky. This is how, one challenge you might have, like making this chord. You might go, I get these 2 or these 3, and then reach with my pointer finger. And that's how I'm saying I, but you or whoever it is, okay, makes it. You get this, and then you put your 1st finger. Well, in this particular context, the first note that I play in the music that I just did was that 1st finger. So if I have to do this and then this, I will never get it. And I can practice it, but until I realize that I'm doing this and then this, I'm never going to get it. Once you realize that you do this, then this, we have to figure out how to break. I call it breaking the bias. You have to learn how to break that bias. So how do we do it? Like I said, I'm going to give you a couple exercises that will help you have less bias and be able to break bias more easily at the end of the video. However, right now, let's talk about this particular one. We need to make sure, because the first note I said, in that particular context, I am playing that note first. So if I go here and then this, I will always be late. So with this particular context, I would have you, if you were my student, I would have you put that 1st finger, then the 3rd finger, then the pinky, then the 2nd finger. We're putting it in the order of what I am playing. Okay, so from the A minor, I was doing an arpeggio and playing thumb, 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 index, middle, ring with my right hand, okay? Like that. So I was playing an A minor and then that F. But in order to not have a gap, get the chord and then play that, I have to be able to go call gap free, okay? So that would be the direct thing that you got to practice if you were doing this, and this would be a really good exercise, just even if you don't need to do this right now, that A minor to F, and it's pretty. If you don't have a song that goes A minor to F, this will still be a really good practice for you, independence-wise. So you have your A minor set, move your pointer finger, leave those other 2 fingers down, your pinky's floating. Then move your 3rd finger, your pinky goes next, and then move your second finger. Reset. Pointer finger, third finger, pinky, second finger. Now we're going to take it another notch. We're going to go pointer finger. When I move my third finger, since my pinky is just ready to work, why don't we put these two down together? So now then, lastly, I move my second finger into place. So reset. First finger, these two fingers together, second finger. Reset. Now we're going to go first finger. I can, because this finger lifts, and then my second finger, it creates that space for my second finger to go straight down to the third string. I'm going to go from the A minor, put my pointer finger. As soon as that third finger lifts, my pinky joins it, and my second finger goes to the third string. What we're going to focus on now is having these three fingers land at the same time. So we're going to go first finger, lift, all three fingers are off, but they're creating that shape and they land. Then we check it. We always have to check that it's going to sound good. Lastly, in this particular context of the intro that I showed, I would want that first finger down. I would want exactly what I showed you right there, what we got to. But we'll take it one extra level, where we're going to go here. As my first finger lifts, we're going to lift these fingers, and all fingers land and press at the same time. Reset. My first finger lifts, these fingers lift, they all land and press at the same time. There you go. You have to do this super slow and mindfully. This takes focus and high detail, attention to detail. So it costs a lot of mental strength and energy. Remember that. Maybe do a few reps like that. You are properly mapping this movement. Okay? Do that slowly, really well. You can start adding a metronome. That would be an extra wonderful tool that you can use. And so that is how I would approach any future challenging chord change that you have. Start thinking like that. And go, what needs to be there first? Then figure out if you can make your hand do that. You can. And just go one step at a time. That finger has to be there first in this particular context. So in another context, that second finger might have to be first. Okay? So it will vary, and that's the fun and challenge of guitar, is that we always have different ways of approaching a certain chord transition that forces us to work our hands in a different way. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know if you have any questions, of course. Now let's talk about two exercises that we can look at they're not actually working on chords, but they help work your finger independence. So when you go to remove a bias, you'll be more easily and more ready and prepared to do so. Your hands will work more independently. I have two videos to recommend to you, but I'll go over these quickly. The first one is an E Phrygian octave. So we walk an octave. And then the next one would be in a chromatic. All right, and then descending on that. But this video has been long enough. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions, like I said. I do want to let you know that I will put links to those two videos. I might have already put it on there, but they're definitely in the description, so check that out. And I want to let you know I have a daily dozen workout that has the top 12 techniques for flamenco guitarists that everybody should be working on if you're interested in flamenco guitar. I know that this was, yes, I was playing this challenge on a flamenco guitar, but it's not necessarily, this is just good guitar technical information, universal guitar information. Anyway, but I do have a whole program designed specifically for flamenco guitarists, the top 12 exercises. So feel free to download that. I have the link somewhere here, definitely in the description, but maybe up here. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and hopefully I will see you soon at the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.